Hey everybody, it's Christina of CraftyPaws. I wanted to come on and share with you guys another acrylic flow art project. This time I am combining acrylic flow art with string pull art. I decided I wanted a simple background and then I was going to really focus on getting great cells from string art pull. And this is how I started. I first just painted on some black acrylic paint that I've mixed with Floetrol and silicone oil. And if you're interested in the particular combination I used or the formula, please check out my blog post, which I'll link to in the description box below. But basically, I painted all the edges and then poured the remainder of my acrylic paint over the rest of the center of the canvas. I'm not going to waste your time showing you all of that, but basically I made sure that there was a nice healthy coating of this black acrylic paint. And then I'm just showing you really quick the yarn that I used. It's just simply soft Karen, I think that's how you pronounce it, yarn. And I just wanted to make sure it was thick enough so that it would hold and pick up enough of the white acrylic paint that I also mixed with Floetrol. I didn't mix additional silicone with this white acrylic paint because I thought that the silicone that was in the black base would be enough to create the cells that I'm looking for. So I'm just laying down the white paint coated yarn onto the canvas and then I'm just pulling. And I want to make sure that it comes off of the edge of the canvas and pull from the center of that area so that it looks like it's kind of what I was hoping for were kind of skeletal leaves. That's the look that I was going for, and I wanted it coming from kind of all different directions. I didn't want this to be kind of a normal floral, just all up and down from one direction. So you see me laying down another piece of coated yarn, and I don't think you can reuse the yarn because it has so much of the base color on the yarn as you pull through the canvas. So after each pull, I discard this yarn. I think if I was using a material that was less absorbent, maybe like a metal chain, I've seen people use that too. Maybe you could reuse it after washing it off each time, but I think with yarn, it's inexpensive enough that using it once and then throwing it away before doing the next pull is fine. And I really love all of the cells that are created. You can see it coming through. When you first lay down a piece of this yarn that's coated in the white paint, it looks kind of thick and dense, but as you pull through and as the paint, the black paint comes through, you can see all of the cells being formed. This piece of yarn had a little bit less of the white acrylic paint, so you see that it comes out a little thinner than the first one or even the second one. I didn't want to bore you guys with all of these pulls, so I skipped ahead, and this is the last string pull that I am adding to this canvas. I thought I wanted an odd number of these kind of branches of skeletal leaves. That's what I'm going to call it. So this is my 7th pull through this canvas, and I love how it came out. Next, I decided I want some kind of white dots here and there. So I'm using a plastic knife. That's just what I could grab. I'm working actually in my kitchen because this takes up so much space. There's not a good place in my craft room for this, along with my camera setting. So you see me just kind of dropping in little white dots of different sizes in the open spaces, as it were. I just want to make sure that I have kind of light areas throughout. And off camera, I actually go over these white dots with a little bit of pink and then a little bit of teal, which you'll be able to see in the final pictures. Next, I decided, in addition to the white, I want a little sparkle. So I'm adding some glitter glass. This is in an antique silver that I picked up recently when I was at the Scrapbook Expo. And I'm just adding it, being careful just to add it to the white areas. I don't want to distract and put it in the dark black areas. And in fact, this isn't a pure black. Has a little bit of a blue undertone to it because basically it's the salvage. That background paint was the salvaged paint that I had picked up, scraped up from my tarp on prior flow art canvases. It was the runoff, as it were. And I added a little more black to it to make it kind of deep and rich. But I think adding these little shattered glass glitter pieces adds a really nice sparkle, and I'm hoping that will come through in the final after I varnish this, after I wait a couple of weeks for it to cure. So just taking my time, adding little bits of glitter, and this is the completed piece. This is still wet, so it's still very, very dark. It will dull as it dries, but that's really it. I hope you've enjoyed this process video. If you enjoyed this process video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful crafty day.